I'm sure you know this brand behind me, Liqui Moly, as an oil for your Porsche. But did you know they're also one of the largest manufacturers of additives? We're here in Ulm, Germany at the headquarters for Liqui Moly, and we're gonna take you for a behind the scenes tour of the laboratory and production facility. Come along. Be sure to log into your YouTube account, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a video.
Hello and nice to meet you PCA members. We are so happy to have you on a short tour to our laboratories and also the production. So enjoy the tour.
So we're now inside the high-tech laboratory, but before we get into the unique equipment that they use to produce their products, let's talk about the common products for Porsches.
Yes. We have some specialties, especially for Porsche air-cooled as well as the water-cooled Porsches. Starting with a specialty for the air-cooled Porsches, it is a mineral-based 2050, which has exactly the right ingredients for all the air-cooled for the special engine designs from the 60s, 70s, 80s, early 90s. As well, we have specialties and Porsche factory-approved motor oils for all the water-cooled cars. We have it available in a 5W40, as you can see here, but we also have a 0W40, which is mostly what you guys need, because that's factory filled, the 040, for better efficiency and less wear during the cold start. So we have the specialties air-cooled, water-cooled. Further, we recommend to use an engine flush from time to time. It liquefies deposits that are in your oil cycle. So that allows the fresh oil to perform with 100% from beginning on, because the cleaning job is already done. So that extends the lifetime of all the moving part and increases the performance and efficiency of your engine.
And then here you have the MOS2, the
Yes.
anti-friction agent. Now I believe these two can be combined, or you actually have it premixed.
We actually have it a premix. So MOS2 molybdenum disulfide is a solid lubricant, which actually the company Liqui Moly was founded with in 1957 with that single product. So it reduces friction and wear in engines as well as in manual transmissions, where we have a special additive also for. So in this case, this one you can add, ideally, it is made to be added to the air-cooled engines, the older ones. It reduces friction, wear, and it makes the engine sound run so smooth, so soft. And you mentioned correctly, we have a premix already. So you can add this one into your 2050 Touring High-Tech, or in the US we sell a specialty which is called MOS2 Anti-Friction 20W50. So it's a premix of this oil and this one. So it's for lazy people.
And for those of you that own air-cooled cars, I know you're wondering in your head, does that oil have zinc?
Of course, it has zinc. Like every motor oil still has zinc in it, but the formulations for older engine technology, they of course contain more zinc than for 2022 engine design, where there is not that need for that high amount of zinc. But still, zinc and phosphorus is still part of every motor oil formulation.
And this next bottle is more of the high-tech stuff.
That's the high-tech. So this is the updated version. This is the iPhone 3, this is iPhone 13. So in this case, Ceratec is a combination of a chemical friction modifier and a solid lubricant, but not longer molybdenum disulfide. We use ceramic particles in here. So this is the next level of friction reducing, of engine protection, and recommended for all the water-cooled engines.
Okay, and then next we have DI Injector, and I believe this is on the maintenance side.
That's on the fuel and maintenance side. You see it has a blue cap. Blue cap means this is to be added into your gasoline.
Okay.
So this treats one tank of fuel, and this is a unique formulation to keep clean and maintain your GDI engine, gasoline direct injection. So Porsche introduced GDI technology around 2019, 2020, depending on the engine. So this is in particular for this late model engine designs, GDI. It keeps, cleans, and maintains your fuel system.
Well, we're going to share with you some images of what all these products do. But before we get into that, I just want to clarify. So if we're using an engine flush in the system, you put this into, it's got a black top. So this goes into
the oil.
The oil.
Yes.
And then you run it, and then you flush and drain the oil after you've used this.
Very simple. You just pour this into your used oil when the oil is already at operating temperature, and then you just let your engine idle for around 12 minutes. So no driving, nothing. Just let it idle, and then you oil change.
Okay.
Oil filter change, yeah.
And then you put your fresh oil in, and then if you move on to either these additives here, you don't need to change the oil.
No, no, these come to the fresh oil, but they're self-mixing. You can add them at any time, but ideally you get the most benefit when you add them directly after the oil change, so that the whole length of the service interval, but no need to change the oil again.
Okay,
no.
and because these are all black caps, these are added to the oil.
For the oil, yes.
And then finally, for maintenance for your fuel, blue cap, this is going into your fuel system.
Blue is gas. We also have fuel additives with a red cap. This is for diesels. There are some Porsche Cayenne diesels in the US.
Absolutely.
So just make sure you get the fuel additive with the red cap. Red is
For
for
your
diesel.
diesel.
Yes.
All right, so let's take a look at some of the equipment they use to develop and make this stuff work in our Porsche. To help with product development as well as test finished products, there must be a standard of measurement. Unlike the machines you see at automotive trade shows or in commercials, this machine is the standard, used by oil companies across the board. Without going into specifics, it basically applies different pressures and shear frequencies to a sample of oil that's placed on a metal test pad to measure friction.
Here you can see the digital output of our SRV. We used here in this sample used motor oil at the end of the lifetime. As you can see here, the big friction scratches, so it's very unsmooth and it could damage the engine. And then we added our Ceratec, and then the friction curve gets really smooth and the lubrication is good again.
So this is the one that I really want to show you all because it's a very dramatic photo. If you could explain what we're looking at up here, which looks to be a very dirty, sooty injector versus what's down at the bottom.
Yeah, this is actually my car, my BMW Mini after 50,000 kilometers, so I haven't used the additive. And then we put out the injectors and analyzed it on a microscope, and as you can see here, they're really dirty, so everything is full of residues. And then after that, we put the injectors back in. I used our DI Checktron with one tank filling, and then we analyzed the injectors again, put it on the microscope, and as you can see here, the cleaning of our product and how it works, and it really works. And you also, when you drive the car, it's going really smooth again, so it's really good. And
so why is it important that, obviously when things are dirty, we want to put something in there to clean it, but especially with direct injection, why is it important that these sort of channels here are clear?
Because for injectors, it's important that you get a really good mist and you spray it
so
really smooth inside.
We've heard about atomization of the
Yeah.
fuel? Okay, yeah.
Right. You get a really good atomization again, which you can't get with this dirty injectors.
And in fact, if injectors are as bad as this and or worse, because of the inability to atomize the fuel, it could actually damage the engine because now you're just getting puddles of fuel into your cylinder area.
Yeah, that is correct. If it's get dirtier and dirtier, then the atomization is not there, and then you can get a damage in the engine.
So is this something that you utilize on every fuel tank, or how often do you, it took you, you said 57,000 kilometers or so to get this dirty. So how often do you have to use something like this to make sure that you are maintaining your injectors?
We recommend it to use every 4,000 kilometers to put the
and this is
additive inside.
this is, you put this additive because it's a blue cap. You put it into your fuel.
Yeah.
And again, you run it, but you don't need to do an oil change because of it. You just follow the regular interval of your oil change.
That's correct. It's only for the fuel system.
So here I am overseeing the mixing of all the different additives that they produce here. They produce hundreds of different formulations, and they actually produce about 20 million cans per year. So let's go over to the production facility and see how that's all done. Now, before we head to the mixing tanks, I had to show you this inventory of cans. As I said, 20 million cans a year. All the product that you see here, this is really only a 1 to 2 day turnover.
So from the computer screen, you already saw our vessels where we produce our product. I will show you now here. The raw material comes in, and then we have the equipment, the pumps to pump it into our production vessels. And then, as you can see here, we have vessels in different size, up to 8 tons. Here you can see we are producing at the moment our radiator stop lead. And when everything is finished and the quality is controlled, we pump it down to our machines or to the storage tanks here you can see in the bag. So here you can see our storage tank. So if the production is not ready for bottling at the moment, we can store it here and then fill it into our bottles later. So this is our filling machine. Here you can see the empty cans which we put at the beginning on this tray. Then the cans run down to the machine. 6 cans at once were filled here in this machine. Then the cans came out and go further to the capping station, where here every can gets its cap automatically. So and then the product comes out, runs over a balance, so the filling is checked so that every can has the right filling, and then at the end the cans get packed in our boxes and go out to the storage.
All right, PCA members, so produced, packaged and ready to go out to the world, wherever you are also. It was a pleasure having you here on tour in our laboratory and production, and enjoy. Thanks for your support.